Welcome to another episode of Dad's Rules with Kevin Belzer. And today we're going to switch things up. We're starting a new round of series. Figured that with Dad's Rules, it's all about being a kick-ass adult. So what I wanted to start doing is inviting people in, having guests in that I think are doing kick-ass things in the community, in their businesses. Because you know what? With the way the economy is out there, we have a lot of people that need to understand there are business people, entrepreneurs, and salespeople that are going to be the reason we get out of this. So today, without further ado, I want to introduce Shain Davis. So take it away. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Hi there. My name is Shain Davis. I'm the lending veteran, and I'm a mortgage lender. I've been doing it since 2016 after I got out of the military in 2012. And I've been living here in Phoenix since 2015, actually. And originally from Ohio. Moved around, got stationed in El Paso, Texas, and then after I got out of the military, I did live in San Antonio before we moved here in 2015.
So he's a veteran, and this is going to bring us to our next topic. What are you doing right now? What's that slogan on your shirt that you're wearing? What is this program that you are here to tell America about?
Thank you so much. Yeah, so I created a program that's called Shoes for Soldiers. The reason why I created this program is because whenever I was active duty, I ran in whatever shoes that I can afford or that I just thought were nice looking, okay?
Yeah.
And come to find out that was a mistake.
Yeah, from what I found out, because I was paramilitary as well, is the Nikes they sell at the PX, they're not really that good. They're not designed for running at all.
No. The short distances maybe, and walking around, I guess maybe that would be,
Yeah.
But active duty military, we're running a lot, especially somebody of my size. Embarrassing to say, I had to run extra a lot because of my weight and tape and everything like that. So, it felt good at the time running, but now, like I said, I'm paying for it through the pain that I'm having, not only in my ankles, shin splints, and the plantar fasciitis that I'm having in my feet. Here's what the story and is how it all came about is that me and my wife, we started working out more and more and more, and we were going to Orange Theory Fitness. And, I'm being observant. I'm looking around. We go in there and we're waiting for class to start, and nobody in there is wearing Nikes or Nike or underwear but me and my wife.
Yeah.
They're all wearing Brooks running shoes, Hoka's, maybe New Balance or something. And I said, why is this? What's going on here? I didn't ask anybody, but I said to the wife, I said, hey, we need to go get some shoes and see what this is about. And we did. We went and bought some Brooks running shoes. She got a pair. I got a pair. And we went to their class next time, and we noticed a big difference.
So did you go to like a legitimate running shoe store then? Yeah, because I know there's a couple of them here in the Valley that specialize in what's going to be good for the feet. So because the big thing is you don't want to be done working out and then feel that workout overnight until the Advil kicks in and the pain meds kick in. You don't want to be dealing with that. You want to know that, hey, I worked out, I did what's right for my body, and the next day, I'm good, I can do it again.
Do it again right next day. Yeah, so exactly. And that's what we noticed is that when we got on a treadmill and, did it eliminate all the pain? It did not. But it alleviated it so much. Even she was saying, wow, this is a huge difference. And I was like, wow, I can actually run and it's not killing me while I'm running or walking. So I talked to her and I said, man, I wish that I knew this back when I was in active duty.
Yeah.
I wish that I'd had the education to not just buy something that was cool and marketed well, but actually, get myself some proper shoes because I'm only 40 years old. But when I walk, I literally feel like I'm 60, 70, 80 years old.
Yeah, and then some people out there are going to be wondering, what's this have to do with being a kick-ass adult? What this has to do with being a kick-ass adult is you don't want to just make money and then be miserable health-wise. You need to be taking care of yourself. And that could be running, walking, stuff like that. You want to make sure you have something that's going to take care of you long term. And from what I understand with your program is that you are giving away shoes to soldiers with every loan that you close, correct?
Yeah, so I had to figure out is how am I going to educate the soldiers now? Because these shoes aren't the cheapest, I'm not going to lie. So how am I going to educate the soldiers? Well, I decided that since I am a veteran, active duty veteran, I will donate a pair of shoes to an active duty soldier when I close a home loan. That allows me to use my own profits to send out a pair of shoes to an active duty soldier. And the reason why I'm using the active duty soldier aspect right now is just because I know what it's like to run an active duty status. Okay. So yeah, every time I close a home loan, I will donate a pair of shoes to an active duty soldier. And the other thing is that I've been reaching out and talking with other business owners. Well, actually, I should say they've been reaching out to me and said, hey, this is awesome, the program that you got going on. How do I be a part of it? So I've been meeting with them, and they're signing up to be part of the program now. So that whenever I close a home loan, they said, hey, let me know when you close a home loan, and I'll donate a pair of shoes as well.
Yeah, and that's really cool because these are about $150 roughly for shoes. I mean, shoes are not cheap. Good shoes are not cheap, I should say. So they're about $150, and as a soldier, you're sacrificing for your country, but you're sacrificing on what you pay, what you'd make in the pedestrian world. And that's what a lot of people don't understand is that you do not get paid well to fight and defend our country. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to give back to them, take care of them, so that when they get out of the military, they're not dealing with the health issues that you're dealing with as far as, from not having good running shoes back then. What I really love about this is that this program sets you apart from what other lenders are doing. And so what I want to do is I want to highlight different people, different businesses, and show that, hey, there are people out there that they're doing things that are different from what others in your industry are doing. Because we all can throw a rock and hit a lender and hit a realtor, but there's very few that are actually setting themselves apart and going, hey, not only am I going to close a home and take care of my family, take care of my lifestyle, but I'm also going to be giving back to the community as well.
That is correct. And giving back to the military community is very important to me. Like I always say is I can't give a pair of shoes to every active duty soldier, but I can try my hardest to educate every soldier.
Yeah. Well, you ever heard the story about the starfish?
No.
Okay. So there's this little girl on a beach, and she's picking up starfish that have washed up on shore, and she's throwing them back in. And this old man comes along, and he's like, there's got to be thousands of starfish here on the beach. I mean, you can't save them all. And she's listening to him as he's lecturing her on how pointless it is to be doing this. And she pins down and she picks one up and she throws it in the ocean. She goes, but I saved that one. So the whole point with this is, you can't give the hundreds of thousands of soldiers the shoes, but you can make a dent. And maybe the word can get out to other people that can also make a dent and help them out. Exactly. And that's what my goal is to get this bigger and bigger and bigger so that other people want to join on as well. And like I said, if I close one home loan, right now I have it set up to where 5 pairs of shoes get sent out to an active duty soldier. And that's where it leads me to the next topic is that the way that I get my soldiers is through referral and word of mouth. So that's where the Shoes for Soldiers website is also. You're able to nominate a soldier if you know of one. Okay, that's cool. That I did not know about. That's cool. So if you know of an active duty soldier and you don't have to buy a house from me or anything like that, go through me through afford a mortgage, but you can support me by just nominating a soldier that you might know and said, hey, my niece or my cousin or my uncle or whoever might want a pair of shoes, and you can just go to the shoesforsoldiers.com website, go at the bottom, nominate a soldier. So when I close a home loan, I'd kind of do like one of those pull name out of the hat, and then now I have multiple hats to be able to pull from with the business owners that have joined me. So that's pretty cool. So for you watching, listening, go to shoesforsoldiers.com, nominate a soldier. If you know a soldier, active duty, correct? Yep. Active duty soldier. Nominate them, and we'll put them in to potentially get a pair of $150 Brooks shoes. I know they're not a sponsor. We'd love if they were a sponsor, but regardless, they are one of the best shoes out there, and that's what you're trying to do is just provide them with the best. Exactly. And like I said, the education portion there, even if they don't go with the Brooks running shoes, but at least they know, hey, let me do some due diligence and education on what's really good for me as far as a good shoe. These right here are good for me and my wife, and that's the reason why we've stuck with the Brooks running shoes. Yeah, 90% of people out there is probably going to be good. So when you transitioned from being military to mortgages, how did that happen? I mean, I don't really think military and then, hey, I'm going to go mortgages for people's homes. So how did that exactly come about? I mean, it's just one of those things is that I got out of the military and I didn't know what I was going to do. And taking one step at a time and one thing led to another. And I found myself working for corporate world. I found myself working in sales for myself. And then it was coming back to once I work in the corporate, I said, man, I want to work more for myself. And then just talking. I mean, I'm a sociable person. I'm an open book. And talking to somebody, and they said, well, I used to do mortgages, and I used to make pretty good money. Do you want to do it? Well, yeah, sure, let me try it. Yeah, I know you're sociable because I met you through one mutual friend, And then I met you through another mutual friend. And that's when it clicked to me. It's like, wait, I actually know him.
Yep.
Is that second time. But I was like, okay, you get around in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
You get around and you socialize and you're out there networking.
Yeah, I don't hide my my feelings. I don't hide my wants and thoughts and everything like that. And people do pick up on that. And you know, yeah, somebody reached out and said, "Hey, this is what you can do if you want to do it." And I ran with it.
And I see you all over social media. So like the guests I'm trying to bring on, a lot of them have a very huge social media presence. I'm seeing that a lot more out of you as well. And so it really personalizes you with people and see that you're marketing that, you're marketing what you do. You also show your family and stuff like that. I mean, if people want to get in touch with you, what is the best way to reach you? Is it your Instagram?
Instagram, it's the Lending Veteran on Instagram. I mean, Shain Davis on Facebook, if you'd like to connect that way, SHAIN Davis. And LinkedIn, of course. But again, the biggest thing is, right, if you don't remember that, just go to shoesforsoldiers.com. You can connect with me that way. All my information's on there, email, telephone number. Like I said, I return all my calls. I answer my text messages. It's that's another thing is I've learned to do is just be very communicative and responsive.
And that is so huge because I can't tell you, or maybe I can tell you, how many lenders I try to get a hold of and can't.
It's amazing to me.
Yeah, because I'm primarily a listing agent. You know, that's what the Splash Program's all about. It's all about listing and selling homes for top dollar. But I've got to call these lenders and find out, do these people qualify? Are they actually qualified, or is it a generic pre-qual form, you know, to where they just, you know, not to name any mortgage companies, Mocket Mortgage, they send one over, but they don't have full documentation. And so I know with you, you're going to give them full documentation on it. They're going to actually be a legit pre-qualified person. If anybody does do a loan with Shain, they're going to know the pre-qualified, it's going to close on time, and then soldier's going to get a pair of shoes out of it.
Here's the thing is I've been doing this long enough that I've made all the mistakes already.
Oh, we all have. It's that's the beauty of sales, though, is that we're going to screw up. Believe me, you would not want to work with me the first year I was in business because you were my science experiment, I guess you could say.
Exactly. And that's the same thing as like you already said, you're a listing agent. So I already know what the listing agent wants. When I get that contract in, the first thing I'm doing is calling a listing agent to let them know, thank you for accepting this. Let me give you my information. Here's the email, so that you're able to go ahead and have that conversation with me, ask the questions that you need to have. So yeah, I'm like I said, I'm not the best at anything, but I'm pretty good at it, and I've learned a lot of stuff. And I know any mistakes that I make right now, I own up to them, but I learn from them.
The thing is, if you were in sales of any kind, communication. That's what it's all about. It's all about communication. People will forgive you for mistakes if you're willing to communicate. Exactly. But if you're hiding, all bets are off at that point.
Right? Exactly. I understand that.
Yeah, that's my whole thing. But yeah, no, I remember when I started. I don't want to go back there again. I much appreciate where I'm at now, and I look back at that, I guess in fondness at this point that I'm not there. I don't know. But as far as doing mortgage, do you only license in Arizona, or can you do other states?
I can do other states as well. Just because I'm not licensed in every state doesn't mean that the branch, the office that I work for, isn't going to be licensed there. So we can still help you out. But for me personally, of course, Arizona, Texas, California, and Ohio. Ohio is a special place to me because that's where I was born and raised, and that's where I have family and friends that I still like to help out.
I totally get it because I have the oddball Arizona and getting licensed in North Carolina, and people are like, well, why there? And I'm like, well, because I'm building a house there.
Yeah.
Like, I know it makes no sense, but it's like, if I get a house in both states, I should be licensed in both states. Yeah, so no, totally get that. I run into a lot of lenders and realtors that have license in other states because that's where family lives or whatever. But yeah, no, that totally makes perfect sense.
Exactly.
So anything else you want to share with them before we wrap this up?
No, I just want to say thank you for bringing me on here, my first podcast. It's a real good experience, and I appreciate you so much for taking a chance and bringing me on here.
Well, I want to thank you because you are our first guest that is not my wife to come on the show. It only took 60-some episodes. I promised everybody back on episode 1 that I would have guests, but I guess I had a lot to say prior to having a guest, and at this point I was like, you know what? I got to get some people on because of what's going on in the world with the economy and everything else. We need to have business people on and people that are on sales and entrepreneurs that we can show, hey, in spite of what you're seeing out there, these people are working hard to do what's right by the economy and get it back on track. And I really appreciate
Wow, I'm
that.
really honored now if I'm your first guest. That's not your wife. Wow, thank you.
Yep. So that's going to be it for today. If you like the show, please share, like, comment, leave feedback. Whether you like it, hate it, or ambivalent, hey, do it anyway. All right, it's going to help the show grow. It's especially important if it's your enemy to share it with them because it'll be a nice way to punch them. All right, so until next time, go out and be the kick-ass adult you all can be.